Hey, it's me, Hrishikesh Kannan, popularly known as Hrishi K. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon now to get the latest videos and get taken into a world of entertainment, culture, sport, business, and current affairs.
After I won my first set, he changed things very quickly. I could see it. I could feel a lot of pressure. He started making balls that he was missing. He was starting putting a lot of pressure with his first serves, higher percentage, higher chipping and sub slices coming to the net. Just trying to put me in a awkward position, and it worked for him. I mean, it was sad that I was feeling better in the last set. I should have. I had this feeling that I could pull this off, but I think that last game, if I had won, would have been a different story. But I got to learn. I created memories. It was a very nice. I mean, qualifying for your first slam will always be important for a tennis player.
So what did Fed say to you at the net at the end when he put his arm around you?
I mean, yeah, he just said, good luck ahead, and keep.
Sumit Nagal, good to speak to you, bro. How you feeling just going into the Aussie Open? Are you feeling fresh? I know it was a rough one at the Murray Bank Classic. How was that? And most importantly, are you feeling healthy?
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to play in a week. Got a few practice lined up, which I'm looking. Didn't get to practice much. Excited to, like I said, excited. Very, very pumped to be here, to be participating in my first slam, first major slam in Australia. Can't complain.
I know you guys have gotten just 5 hours every day to go out and do your thing. So you're on a very strict time clock. You want to just tell us about that 5 hour window and how you had to get everything packed into that, all your schedule?
Yeah, sure. So we would get an email every day about your practice timings, and around that time, let's say we are starting at 2. You would have this 50-minute block where you would get out of your room and go to the cars. So you would hear a knock, and they would tell you, "Hey, your practice time." You go there, then it's a 10-15 minute drive. Once you get there, you go to a gym, which is for 90 minutes, 90, and then after that, you will have a tennis court for 2 hours. And once you're done with tennis, you'll have an hour to eat, to get some food, and then same thing back again. You get back in the car, you go for that 15-minute drive, and you're back in your room.
It's a tight one. I don't know how you guys do it.
For sure. It was day by day. Everyone was just trying their best.
But going up against Berankis in the Murray River, I know it's just a warm-up tournament, but you went out in straight sets. How do you look upon that just going into the Aussie Open?
I mean, what happened yesterday was yesterday. In one way it's good because I can see that I need to work on quite a few things in next 5 days. It was a good test because like how you mentioned earlier, we didn't have too many hours on court. We couldn't play matches or practice sets with different type of players, and playing Berankis was I mean, he's a very good player. He's someone who's been in top 100 from quite a few years, and to see where how the match went yesterday is. I mean, I do feel I know that I should have done better. I know that I it's I it just yeah. I mean, when you come out of the court saying thinking that you could have done better, it's just not a great feeling, and that's what I was missing.
Well, the draws are not out yet, so we're keeping our fingers crossed as far as you are concerned.
Yeah.
But I'd just like to look back at your career a little bit, for people to understand how you got here. I mean, fantastic challenger win at Buenos Aires. You want to talk about that, doing what you did in Argentina?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a very funny story because first of all, I went there alone. I had no one to be with. First, I'm someone who enjoys food. So first few days I was just enjoying food left and right. Trying out different places. And what happened was in my first round, I played a 3-hour match, and 3 hour 10 minutes, and I was cramping. I was at the hospital, and from
Wow.
playing. I mean, my first round was not pretty at all. It's very it's okay. It happens. It's normal. But if someone told me that you're gonna win this tournament, and especially like semifinals and finals and straight sets, I would say, yeah, man, you're joking about it. But I ended up winning. I became the uh, probably the first Indian to win a challenger there, because not too many people like to go that far, especially on a clay, to play against South American. So I created a memory, and I will always cherish that city, that memory.
And you also made it to the final in Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is the Banja Luka Challenger. So,
Right.
2019 was really an eventful year for you, wasn't it? Before we get into the slam action, just a little bit about that tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was coming from US Open, I was in confidence, playing good tennis, especially going back to the surface that I really enjoy. And the tournament, I enjoyed it, man. I really like the food there. I mean, Banja Luka is very pretty. It's very small place, but really good people, fun people. And like once you start enjoying to be there, once you start enjoying spending time on tennis court every day, things get easier.
Wonderful. Any other challenger that you'd like to talk about? Because you've had an
Oh,
interesting
yeah,
run. Yeah.
for sure. Bangalore in 2017 was a very
You
big
won
one
that.
where,
Yeah, that was your
right,
second big
right.
win.
Yeah, because I know that uh, I knew that that gave me a lot of confidence, a lot of belief that, even on surface like that, I can do well. I can be a great player as well.
Bro, going into that US Open, when you were up against Fed, you eventually took a set and it became really world famous and you made us proud. What were you looking to do in that particular game? I mean, it's very easy to be overawed by the best player of all time, standing across the court.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, when you play a match in Slam, it's best of five, so it's never over till it's over. I knew I won my first set, but there's still two more sets to be played, to be won by me. Um, After I won my first set, he changed things very quickly. I could see it. I could feel a lot of pressure. He started making balls that he was missing. He was starting putting a lot of pressure with his first serves, higher percentage, higher chipping and sub slices coming to the net. Just trying to put me in a awkward position, and it worked for him. I mean, it was sad that I was feeling better in the last set. I should have. I had this feeling that I could pull this off, but I think that last game, if I had won, would have been a different story. But I got to learn. I created memories. It was a very nice. I mean, qualifying for your first slam will always be important for a tennis player.
So, what did Fed say to you at the net at the end when he put his arm around you?
I mean, yeah, he just said, good luck ahead, and keep doing well.
That's wonderful. And
Yeah.
going up against Dominic Thiem, I mean, now he's a bona fide Grand Slam champion, Sumit. He reached those finals. It was just not seeing the luck of the draw. And then again in this particular tournament, he's going in with that record of having lost that five-setter and being a slam champion, losing the five-setter to Novak last year, and then eventually becoming a Grand Slam champion, beating Sasha. And you were up against him at a very strategic point of his career as well as your career. Of course, it was a straight set loss, but it's never easy when you're playing somebody of Dominic Thiem's caliber.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, it's his intensity is very high. That's what I could feel it. I felt like I was always the underdog. Always. I mean, of course, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I just felt there's a lot of pressure that I need to do something, and I need to do something more and more, and that's what I made a lot of mistakes and a lot of free errors, unforced errors.
Yeah, but you have taken away a lot from that one, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, for
you
sure,
think you
for
think
sure.
you think Dominic is ready to make his place amongst the big four, because the last few years all we've been hearing about is the big four.
I think you could say that, like especially guys been playing well. It's made few three finals of a slam and one winner. So you can say that he's making that step, and I do believe he's gonna do great things in life.
Sumit, are you still training in Germany? I remember at one point in time you were training in Germany. Who's your coach? I remember for a brief while,
Right,
Somdev was in your corner, and Somdev's coach was also helping you out. A little bit about your,
right.
your team right now.
I'm working with Sasha Nansel. He's from Germany. He's been on tour from, I think, 17, 18 years. I'm working with Milos Kalic, who was an ex-coach of ex-trainer of Somdev Devarman. I've been working with them from past 2.5 years, and I'm enjoying it and loving it.
And based out of Germany, is that it?
Yes, right. Small town called Peine, very close to Hanover, north of Germany.
And how many hours a day would you get in? About 8 hours, 7 hours?
No, 5 to 6, 6-ish. Yeah, that's
Five to
where you
six
keep
ish.
it. Eight becomes a lot.
Yeah, with the conditioning and the court and everything. Yeah.
Six, yeah, 6-ish, 6 is it's good amount.
Indians have always had the luck of the draw in terms of being invited by great tennis players to be their practice partners.
Yeah.
Somdev was called by Andy Roddick, and Andy said, come and hang with me. Back when Leander was playing singles, I remember Ivan Lendl had called him and said, spend some time with me in Connecticut and play. Haven't any of the top 10, top 20 guys asked you to be a sparring partner?
I've heard. I mean, I'm friends with people, but uh, I like to do my own things. It's always good to hits with top players. But I think I haven't played enough tournaments where I share a lot of court, a lot of hours with them. But in future, you will definitely see some hits coming around with my fellow friends.
Just a little bit more about people who've supported you. I mean, if people talk about how difficult it is in Formula One, trying to get the right team and right people to back you. Tennis is as difficult. At the end of the day, AITA takes care of you or tries to only for the Davis Cup. The rest of the year, you're pretty much on your own when you're playing these challengers and satellites, and then eventually the ATP tournaments. So, people in your corner, you want to shout out to Sumit.
Yeah, definitely. My family first, they always tried their best. They made sure that I eat properly, I slept properly. Even though if whatever happened, they made sure that things are right for me. Second, I would say is Mahesh. Mahesh has always been in my corner from past 12 years. I would say thanks to Virat and his foundation and his team who's been taking care of me from past few years. I'm very thankful to them. As like you said earlier, it costs a lot, because you're traveling so often. The fees for coaches a lot as well on tennis tour. And then I would also say thanks to Indian Oil right now, who's been part of my journey from past few years as well.
That's amazing. Have you spoken to the other guys in Melbourne Park? Rohan, I believe, was waiting for a doubles partner because Sousa unfortunately got the coronavirus. Has Rohan managed to get
Right.
himself a partner? He's been texting
Yes.
people? Yeah,
He got his partner. He's playing with Ben.
that's lovely. And what about the other Indians? Are you in touch with them? With Pradnesh, with Ankita? Any of them said hi to them?
Whenever, yeah, we used to, me and Prajnesh, yeah, we spend time whenever we are here in the same city. We like to get some food and stuff. Yeah.
I'd like to know at the Aussie Open, what really, this is your debut in the main draw, as opposed to the US Open where you've done so well for yourself. These courts are faster, aren't they, Sumit? So how are you adapting to these courts as opposed to playing in the hard courts at the USTA?
That's for sure. The courts are this year especially is quite faster than what it used to be. That is why I've got some practices lined up to get myself ready and be able to play, because my practice session when I was doing quarantines were on different courts, and I played a match yesterday. It's slightly different than where I practice, so I'm just trying to get myself ready for next Monday.
I want to talk about memorable Davis Cup tournaments, matchups that you've thus far had playing for India. Being our singles player, any tie that comes to mind that you're very fond of?
I would probably say Spanish, just because I got to see a Spanish team, especially bringing those people to be a part of Indian team at the same time to represent the country, because that was my first tie, and to go up against the best team. You could arguably say that the best Davis Cup team ever. I think that memory will always be there.
And also, as a young kid coming into the squad, it must have been wonderful being by the sidelines when you have guys like Ron Bopana, guys like Somdev, Lee, Hesh, all around, just soaking in that little bit of aura of Indian tennis.
Unfortunately, when I started playing, Mahesh has retired, but he was the Davis Cup captain, so I got to see that. Bopsy, yeah, I mean, I've known him from quite few years. Since when I was playing juniors, I would see him in the slams, and I would be playing juniors. With Leander, I haven't spent much time with him. He's got his own things. He's doing he's I think he's also spending a lot of time in America where I haven't been much. And Somdev was pretty unlucky as well because I could not share a tennis court with him. He had also retired by the time I was representing India in Davis Cup. But I would have loved to be a part of that team.
Yeah, but I love the fact that he stood up for you when people questioned your commitment. He's the guy who wrote a letter to the association, and you must really value that a lot, even today.
Of course. That's why he's part of my team.
Lovely. Players who you really have been inspired by, bro. Guys who you grew up as a little kid, whether it was in Delhi or in Haryana, saying, I want to be like them. Who are the players you've admired?
David Federer, a lot. When I used to watch him, when I used to watch him play tournaments, it would be just mind blowing. And when I actually got to see him face to face, the way he played, he is a bull. He's an animal.
He would just return everything.
he gets no free points. You need to work. And he will make sure if you want to win a point, you play your best tennis. I've got mad respect for him.
That's crazy, man. Because you ask any of the current generation, they'll always talk about Rafa or Nole or Andy and Roger. But to pick up David Ferrer is just fantastic. It just shows the kind of. It's like guys when they talk about cricket, they'll always say Tendulkar and Virat and no disrespect, those are great players. But some people will say Rahul Dravid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
The Wall or Pujara. The guys who stand there.
Yeah.
So that's a great choice there. And in the ladies' side, any ladies player that you've really admired?
For sure, Serena has done amazing. She's an amazing tennis player. What she's able to do from past 20 years or even more, it's phenomenal. It's incredible.
Sumit, a lot of single players are taking to doubles because it helps with a lot of skill sets, especially now because people are coming out of the quarantine and not having played as much tennis as before. Have you ever thought of playing some active doubles, or you just focusing on singles?
I will be playing doubles in my upcoming years, trying to focus on net game, trying to understand how it works with the serve returns. Because you get to either you practice a bit or you rather put yourself in a position where there's things online, like playing for points, playing to get better. And when it's a match, you would always want to choose a match situation than a practice situation. So I will be, to answer your question, yes, I will be participating in doubles.
In terms of physical fitness, there is the Rafa prototype, which is, he's pretty much built like a bull, spends a lot of time in the gym. And then there's the Roger type, which is just skill set. You know what I mean? How much time do you focus on the gym and how much on racket skill and court skill, bro?
I think the racket skill is something that you have from a young age. It's not easy to develop hands like Roger. This is something you could arguably say that you're born with it. But with fitness, yes, you can. It's also genetics, don't get me wrong, but you have a better chance of creating that intensity around you than creating those hands what Roger has.
Super stuff. Sumit, all the best. I know you're going into this tournament. I hope you take it one match at a time, man, and you progress and go beyond the second round that you did the last time around. We're all hoping. Sure. What's the ATP ranking right now? 139? Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And we hope you're going to break into the top 100 really, really soon. And
looking forward.
We haven't had a top 100 guy since Somdev who did 62 at the time. Yeah?
And 62, yeah. It's been a while. Who was in top 60.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. All the best.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You too.